What's up, everyone? It's Nice Shoes RV with another car review. Let's go. So, this is the 2020 Mercedes Benz GLA 250 crossover / SUV. It is based on the CLA sedan platform. First thoughts, right off the bat, I like it. It's a little too small for me. As you saw in the introduction video, when I pulled up from the small windows and the crouching seat position, it is a little bit small. I'm 6 feet tall. I fit in it just fine. The seat's not even back all the way. But the car itself has a small and nimble feel to it, which is good. If you live in the city, you know, it's not a huge SUV. You don't have to fight to get into parking spaces and whatnot. It's very nimble. It's not going to break the bank at the gas station. You are averaging around 32 miles per gallon in this car. Build quality is nice. It does have a high-end feel to it. As you can see, it's got the cream colored leather with the black accents up top. So price point, this one's around 40 grand. It's pretty out the box, no options. It does have the upgraded AMG wheels on the outside, which really look nice. They're probably my favorite of the wheels. When you go on the Mercedes-Benz website to configure the car, very intuitive, by the way. Great website to build a car. Just have fun like I do with every manufacturer out there. These optional wheels are probably one of my favorites to throw on, whether it's the C-Class I'm pricing out, the GLA, the CLA. It's got like an AMG feel to it. Ride quality's nice. I've heard other car reviewers say it's a little on the stiff side. I don't see it on the stiff side. I mean, if you're comparing it to like a Limkin maybe, but you're comparing it, I wouldn't even put this up against the X1. I know that's where they kind of market it. This would be more towards the X2. You know, the slanted roofline and so on, it kind of matches what the BMW is trying to do with their X2. Audi's Q3 I think is a fantastic car. I don't know how they're doing in sales. I know up in my area in North Toronto, I don't see many around. So I don't know if the price point's too high. I really don't know much about Audis. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little ignorant there. But I don't see a lot of Q3s around. Stuff from the Japanese that you would compare this car to, I don't know. I really don't know. I sound snotty when I say this, but the Germans sit in a class of their own. I would be more inclined to compare this to like a Volvo. I think it's called the XC40 or CX40, XC40, something like that. Or maybe even like the little Jaguar, the E something. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. E-Pace, I think that's what it is. From the Japanese, Infiniti has the QX50, I believe. They just announced the QX50 like Grand Coupe version or Coupe. I don't know. I'm getting lost with terminologies on cars. Lexus has it might be the UX or the NX that would go up against this. They're all terrific cars. I don't know if this would be my main car if I'm out shopping for an SUV, being a single dude. I like coupes. My car is a BMW coupe. Before that, I had another BMW coupe. Before that, I had a Golf R, Volkswagen Golf R. That only lasted about 8 months because I wanted something bigger, faster, and meaner. Before that, I had a whole slew of Infiniti coupes, so I'm a coupe guy. But as you progress, you know, buying an M4, an AMG GT63, and so on, you tend to want to not drive those things in the winter. So this would make for a perfect secondary vehicle if you're doing pretty well in life and you can afford a second car for yourself. I'm not going to be a douche and say, you know, it's a perfect car to get for your wife. But it's a perfect car to get for your wife. Great grocery getter. It's not huge. it's not entirely small either. We're gonna jump into the back and see what kind of room there is back there. I also want to check out the trunk area. A vehicle I forgot to mention just now is the Mazda CX-30. That has a very premium feel on the inside, and now with an engine to match. I would definitely put that in the mix of everything else I just mentioned. So we've spent a few minutes in here now. I can actually talk about it. The heater controls, stereo controls, all good. The vents, I heard the guys on Straight Pipe say it's got like a cheap feel to it. They're right. They're pretty bang on. It's very nice looking. It feels a little bit cheap when you touch it and adjust it. One cool thing about it though, the circles have like rubber bushings around, which in the winter months, winters in Canada get very, very cold. It tends to make your car squeak and rattle from the inside. The rubber lining or whatever it is would keep these little things from making too much creaking noises. Steering wheel is huge. It's a huge factor for me. You tend to, touch and hold the steering wheel 93.6% of the time you're in the car. So the steering wheel for me is huge. They have done a fantastic job with this one. If all Benzes, out the box come with a steering wheel like this is a major win. It's got perforated leather along the sides, and it's got just your sleek leather. The stitching is very bold and thick. You can actually feel it. Size is good. It suits the car. No complaints with this one. Interior looks good. It's a nice spot. It does have paddle shifts. I wouldn't recommend it personally. They shift decent enough. They shift better than the Japanese. I hate to say it, but they do. I would love to jump into some of the more modern Japanese cars and drive them, because I don't want to sound like I'm bashing them. They make fantastic cars, and if you're spending your money, it's actually probably a little bit more peace of mind to buy a Japanese car than the Germans, because one thing you hear from everyone is the Germans tend to run into more costly maintenance issues later in their life. If you're just leasing this for 3-4 years, you have nothing to worry about. Everything's covered with a warranty. And the warranty for Benz's standard is a 4-year, 80,000 kilometer warranty. You can actually buy packages, maintenance packages, where you won't pay for your scheduled maintenances. I believe Audi offers that. A lot of manufacturers, Volkswagen now does a complimentary 3-year. BMW, I think, was the first that I'd heard of. They were doing a 4-year, 80,000 kilometer, no charge scheduled maintenances. You could actually pay a little bit more and have your brakes covered into that, including brakes and rotors into that service. It's an amazing way. I'm not boosting BMW in any way, but I think that program is huge. It's a huge way to get people. Everyone's fighting for attention these days. Everyone's fighting for your dollars. One way that the manufacturer can tap into your wallet is services like that. Genesis, I heard if you buy a car from them, they'll actually come to your house, drop off a Genesis in your driveway, pick up yours, take it in for an oil change, bring it back, do the swap, all complimentary. That is above and beyond the greatest thing in the auto market I've heard of, if it is a thing. I will need to reach out to someone from Genesis and confirm those details. Infotainment system is really nice, very intuitive. It's got the middle controller like a lot of manufacturers do now. The screen is cool. The rear view camera, very HD, very clear. I like that. One thing that sits weird is it looks like it's tilted towards the passenger a little bit more than the driver, and it doesn't look like it. It actually is. That's a weird one. It's not like we're watching TV here and you need to have a good look of what's going on when I'm driving. I would love to have this thing angled a little bit towards the driver. So as I mentioned before, the inside of the car is a little bit small. It's designed that way. It's not a big deal, but I'm going to show you how small it is. I'm right around 6 feet tall. I have this situated the way I would sit. It's not all the way back. I mean, it's got a lot of room to go back. So if you're like 6'4", 6'5", I'm assuming you would be able to drive here, but it's more important how the people behind you would be. As you can see, it is very tight. I don't have a lot of headroom. Foot room is okay, knee room is not. Seats are nice, they're comfortable, but it's best for short trips, or better for the kids back here. I wouldn't really put anybody, I want to say 5'9" or taller back here for long periods of time. Getting out, not very easy. Yes, I put on a jacket. It's that cold. Let's go to the back quickly and check out the trunk. I hope I'm not going to be as disappointed with the trunk as I was with the back seat. So being a base model, this doesn't have the kick to open the trunk, nor does it have the automatic trunk. You got to go the old-fashioned way. I know, right? The trunk is actually not that bad. For such a small car, and you saw how small the rear seats were, the trunk's actually not a bad size. You could probably get one full-size luggage with maybe a medium one on top. Usually you would have a button up here that you would press that would lower the trunk lid for you. Like I said, this one doesn't have it, so get a little workout and work those lats. As I'm wrapping up my review for this 2020 Mercedes Benz GLA, I got to thinking, there's so many social media accounts, there's so many motivational speakers that say, live within your means, especially in a pandemic. But that one meme sticks out to me. Don't spend money you don't have to impress the people you don't like. There's a reason why that saying circulates, because there's so many people that do that. You could go over to an American manufacturer, Korean, Japanese. You could get whatever they offer that falls in line to this vehicle in its segment. And you could get a fully loaded version of their car, their vehicle, with all the luxury, all the tech, all the safety features, for about the same price as you would get into this at bare bones level. This is a base trim. Even though it's a very nice car, it's got no options added on except for the upgraded wheels. Everything else is available. All the luxury, all the tech, all the safety features, but that would run you thousands and thousands of dollars more. So the question I'm asking is, how valuable is a badge to you as opposed to creature comforts? For Nice Shoes Arby, I'm Arby. You guys have a great day.